What is the difference between eXp Realty and Compass? That's the question we are looking at in this episode of the HyperFast Agent podcast. Stay tuned. eXp Realty versus Compass, what is the difference? These are two of the brokerages you see the most in the headlines the last several years. They both had a lot of growth, although one has changed dramatically from the other in the last year. We'll get into that and more in this show. So going back to the question of the differences, I think you need to look at the founders to start. And Robert Rifkin, founder of Compass Real Estate, had a background in Goldman Sachs, in Wall Street, and then decided to found a real estate brokerage. All right. Glenn Sanford, the eXp founder, built multiple expansion teams, was a real estate agent, and really built eXp Realty as a way to solve a problem he saw while trying to run expansion teams during the 07, 08, 09 time period when a lot of things were changing and the real estate market was going through a lot of headwinds, a lot of challenges, right? So, I think from the beginning, right, one was founded by a Wall Street guy, one was founded by a real estate practitioner, right? One of us. And I think that is huge when looking at these companies, all right? Structurally, and, Compass fans may not like this take, but Compass is an old model company, right? I know they like to tell people that they are a tech company and that they're somehow not a brick and mortar real estate company, and maybe that helped them, have a great IPO. But at the end of the day, it is an old model company, right? In fact, you could argue that it is older than most old models that we've seen, because most of the last 50, if you look at the last 50 years of growth in the real estate brokerage industry, it came from this franchise concept, with really probably with going back to Century 21 and then Remax and then Keller Williams, right? Prior to that, it was all company-owned brick and mortars, which is what Compass is, right? It's a company-owned brick and mortar. They do not have franchises, although Robert Rifkin has hinted that that might be the only way that they can grow going forward, right? If you look back at some of the earnings calls they've been on, right? So they might go the franchise route in the future. I mean, we'll see. But at the heart of it, they are a brick and mortar company, right? The old-fashioned model. eXp Realty is the new model, right? It's the same difference between Blockbuster versus Netflix or taxi versus Uber, right? They came up with a way to decentralize everything, get rid of the brick and mortar, create a system for real estate agents to operate their business anywhere in the world. They can be in multiple states, multiple countries, right? All under one cap, all under one fee structure, and it's had tremendous growth because of that, right? They are the first digital cloud brokerage in the history of real estate and the fastest growing company in the history of real estate brokerages, right? So, when you look at old model versus new model, right, I think you have to think Compass, old model, eXp Realty, new model. Technology, right? A lot has been, made about, Compass and the $1 billion or so they've spent on building out technology. At the end of the day, when you look at it, and I've had conversations with, dozens and dozens of Compass agents and practitioners over there, as well as at eXp, as well as over other brokerages, because I've, sponsored agents at a level that not many people have ever done at eXp Realty. So I'm constantly in conversations with real estate agents, and that, when agents move from Compass to eXp Realty, they are not noticing a difference in technology, right? In fact, I've had some agents move over from Compass that were using some of the eXp technology, specifically KV Core, right, which is a company that's partnered with eXp that all eXp agents get access to for free, and it ends up saving them $5,000-6,000 more per year because they have a CRM in KV Core, or for a small fee they can add Chime on top of that as well, right? So they've got this great CRM that by and large does everything the Compass CRM does, right? Like it has IDX built into it. You can drive paid traffic to it. You can get organic leads from it. It will do emails. It will do texting. It will tell you which clients are looking at which properties, which ones that you need to contact now, which are likely to sell. Like it does all of that. And quite frankly, I've said in a lot of my content before that the technology that you need to run your real estate business is by and large off the shelf, right? No brokerage has a proprietary claim on that. I think that's true for eXp as well, right? You don't need what they offer. What they offer is great, but I don't think an agent at Compass versus eXp has any advantage when it comes to technology. I do think at eXp, right, you have an advantage because of the network size, right? You have 87,000 agents and growing at a fast rate versus like less than 30,000 agents and flatter growth right now in agent count. So this is another difference I think you need to look at, right? If you are at eXp Realty, you have more opportunities for referrals, more opportunities for networking, more opportunities for off markets because there's more agents there. I mean, it's just a numbers game, right? eXp is the #1 leader in transactions, right? So more deals are there. There's 1,200 and growing, by the way, referrals, eXp to eXp agents every month. So there's a huge opportunity for referrals. You have a couple of big lead source accounts that as an eXp agent you have access to that you do not at Compass, right? eXp Realty has brought on Leo Pariah, great real estate leader, inventor of founder of Remine, right? And he has helped add tons of great lead sources to eXp Realty. So eXp agents get an REO program, they get an affinity lead program, they get a reload program, they have an iBuyer program at eXp Realty. So you have some amazing lead sources at eXp Realty. Now the biggest differences between this company comes down to your bottom line, right? eXp Realty, every agent gets the same deal. Compass, everyone's on different deals, right? But they generally range from like 80% to 90%. If you're a top agent, there's some people less. There's some people on 70% or 75% at Compass, but generally agents there in that 80 to 85 range. And if they are a huge agent, like 2 million GCI, maybe they're at 90%. Right? So that's the percentage of their commission they are keeping. eXp Realty, you're on an 80-20 split until you've paid in $16K for the year. Then you get to be 100% minus a small transaction fee, right? So what does that translate? Well, an agent selling around 10 million at Compass versus eXp is gonna pay like 50K more probably per year, right? Every office could be different, so this is approximate levels. If you're at 20 million at Compass versus eXp, that difference is gonna be nearly 100 grand. Right, I've run numbers on some people at Compass that are paying $300, $400, even $500,000 more than they would at eXp Realty because of the uncapped structure. Right, a lot of people know about eXp's revenue share program, which I'll get into in a second. But guess what? If you are a real estate agent at Compass, you are in a revenue share program. It's one where you're sharing an unlimited amount of your revenue with your company, and that can be a huge, huge bill for most real estate agents. I mean, imagine, paying 50 or 100K more per year to your broker, and then imagine doing that for 5 years or 10 years versus pocketing that difference and putting it in the S&P 500 or investing some of it back into your business. Like, what would that do for you, your clients, your team? Tremendous, right? That difference there alone is tremendous. An even greater difference, though, for some people is the ongoing benefit you can get from attracting or sponsoring real estate agents at eXp. Because eXp has this amazing efficiency of their cost structure, right, where they've eliminated all of the inefficiencies, and they don't have the brick and mortar expenses. They don't have all of the expenses that big companies like Compass do. Because of that, they can share half of the revenue back with their agents, right? In 2022, eXp shared, I think it was like over 220 million of revenue back with the agents, and then another 40 million in stock awards. That's a tremendous amount of wealth given back to the real estate agents. And if you are, if you spend just a little bit of time sponsoring agents and get good at it, you can build it to something that can far outpace your sales income. And it can be something that you can retire, you can leave it in your will to your kids, your revenue share line. So there's a tremendous opportunity there that eXp agents have that Compass agents simply do not have. So those are some of the key differences as I see it between Compass and eXp Realty. That's why a lot of big Compass agents right now are making the move to eXp Realty. And if you're a real estate agent at any company other than eXp, obviously, and you want to learn about partnering with Carrie Shull and I at eXp Realty and getting the coaching, getting the mentoring and training that we offer you as a member of our group, I would be honored to have that discussion with you. You can send me a text message at 703-638-4393. Again, that's 703-638-4393. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the show. We will see you next time.